some things.
Okay.
Well, Will, let's see, what's your name?
Willie Brewer.
Willie Brewer. And used to be in
She used to be a McNutt, but she married a Brewer.
Mary Brewer. I thought they was all the same thing.
Well, no, that's Dad's sister.
Nuts and brewers all mixed together.
All mixed together. So when were you born?
1906,
1906. So that'd make you what? How old now?
92 years old.
92 years old. That's a long time. I hope I live that long.
You'll get that.
Well, let's see. Let me do something right here. Won't you? Can you just aim that thing? Let me. Just keep it right in the middle of it.
Oh, all right there.
Let me just. I've done a little work, so I've got some areas. Your daddy was named Henry Alexander, and your mama's name was Laura. Laura Ann. What do you? Let's see. What would be the best? You had brothers and sisters. What's brothers and sisters you had? I know you had Charlie.
Charlie.
That's my papa.
Yeah.
That's my papa. And so I like anything you know about Charlie, I'd like to know.
Oh, she wouldn't want to tell everything about it.
Was he older or younger?
5 brothers and 5 sisters.
5 brothers.
You left that count,
Yeah, we won't stay long. I may come back another time and get you thinking about it, so you maybe have some good stories. I'd like to know if my papa was about like me. Did he pick on his little sister like I picked on my little sister? Yeah.
No, he didn't. If Charlie's boy, he didn't have no sister. I mean,
No, he didn't have no daughters.
daughters.
He had no daughters. So.
5 boys, no, 10 boys. No.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything? All right, I've got the list of all your brothers and sisters. I got Herschel Nutt.
Yeah, that's the oldest.
He's the oldest one. There was one named Anna Nutt that died
Baby.
as a baby.
I
You
think
never knew her.
No, I think she said she was about 2 years old.
You know how she died or why she died? Okay. And Herschel Nutt and Charlie Nutt. Did you call him Charlie or Charles? Charlie. Yeah, I remember Aunt Zadie, and then Bert, and then
Al.
Uncle Al, and Myrtle, and then Willie. Yeah, and that's Willie Eileen's what I figured out. And then,
Oh, Willie Allen, is that your name?
and then Aunt Bet. I'm calling Aunt because that's who I knew him as.
Betty Marie.
Betty Marie, and Uncle Ivan. Ivan Edward. And then you married someone with the name of Boyd Clarence.
Clarence Brewer.
Clarence Brewer.
They called him boy.
Called him Boyd. Who was his parents? What do you remember?
Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer and his mom was
Lund.
Lum. Okay. Okay, and then you had children. Do you have any children?
Yeah, I got 5.
Got 5. Who are they? Because I don't
3
know.
girls and 1 boy.
3 girls and 1 boy.
Yeah, Lolly and Dorothy and Betty Jean and Geraldine.
I didn't know.
Geraldine's oldest.
And they live around here, or
Yeah, they live over there with me.
where did you live at most of your life?
Well, I've lived in Wayne County all the time.
All your life?
All my life, but now I moved closer to town.
Yeah.
We're back on the Highway 64.
Did whereabouts was you born and grow up, Charlie? Where was it?
On 48,
On 48?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Right there where.
where the cemetery is, there's my home.
Is that right up there where
Yeah,
Dad,
where
Papa?
Dad-
Born
yeah.
and raised there.
Yeah.
So that house that Charlie lived in, like that was where what Henry and Laura lived.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
And so Charlie got it from his dad.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
sold it a time or two.
Uh-huh. And as far as, do you remember anything about Henry, your daddy? What can you tell me about anything?
He's just a good old man. He stood behind his word.
What did he do for a living?
He farmed.
He farmed. And let's see, what other kind
He
of?
owned, well, he owned all that land. He owned
Yeah, he
nearly
owned all
everything
that.
on 48 and there.
How'd he get it? Do you know?
Well, I know he just got it.
I don't know how he got it.
Did you know your papa?
Yeah,
Was that Robert Sherman?
my daddy.
Your papa, your daddy's daddy. Did you ever know him?
You know,
Did you know your grandmother? Didn't know your grandfather or grandmother. What about Eli Jackson? You know him?
that was my mother's daddy.
Yeah. And that's the one you said used to have a long
Yeah,
beard
yeah,
down
yeah.
there, and they got the. Daddy'd always tell me about him.
We
having
got
a
the
long-
picture of that. We got a picture with him, that beard.
Yeah,
What kind of? I know he's a fine man. There. What did he do for a living?
he helped us farm.
Helped you. And he was a Jackson. Did you know anything about his side of the family much? What about, I guess Laura Jackson was a Haynes. Did you know any of the Haynes?
Yeah, she was. I don't know, she was a Jackson.
Yes,
She had two sisters from Haynes. Ain't Beth and ain't Fanny. The other
uh-huh.
Haynes.
Hmm. What about, I know I'm asking you a whole lot of questions that probably taxing your mind and everything. I don't, these are a bunch of notes. I'll let you look at them. It's hard enough for me to read because it's a small writing. But,
I didn't see the writing either, man.
as far as, how about Anna Laura Brewer? You know, my grandmother, Charlie's wife.
She was a brewer.
Her daddy was,
Pete.
huh?
Pete.
Yeah, George Washington Pete Brewer. So you know Pete, how was he kin to Boyd?
He was his uncle.
He's his uncle. Huh.
She knows more than I do about it. And
Yeah, well, that's what I.
that's the reason you come over here, wasn't it?
That's the reason I come over here. See what all I could find out. Yeah. What'd your husband do? What Boyd do?
Farm.
He farmed too. Was he down there around 48 Creek as well?
Dog Creek.
Dog.
Okay.
Dog Creek. When did he die?
69.
1969. And then, let's see. Uncle Al married Annie Kelly. And Bert married Pearl, Aunt Pearl. And Zaid married Sister O. Hunt. And Herschel married
Hardy.
Hardy.
Ron Hardy.
And most all these, of course, Aunt Bet married
She married Taylor Long.
Taylor Long. And Uncle Ivan married
Married Kelly.
Georgia Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Did now this? How much older was Charlie than you? Was he a grown man when you remember? Or?
Yeah, he was. See, there was Herschel and Charlie.
Uh-huh.
Herschel was the oldest. Charlie next.
Did Charlie so much older than you he was gone the time you got around? He was. So you was a little girl and he was done up and probably about married, was he not? So he didn't pick on you like I did my little sister. You might have had Uncle Al, how about you and Uncle Al? Did y'all have any? Y'all a little bit closer in age, wasn't you?
Yeah, we're close in age.
Where'd you go to school at?
Mars Valley.
Mars Valley. You remember anything much about that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
About a mile, I guess, was in morning. Our house to schoolhouse. And we would have walked.
Wow.
We walked to school. We don't want to frost barefooted. I remember the bird saying, look at Will's, what little steps, she says.
Walk barefooted to school, school.
Remember anything about your dad as far as did he ever whip you?
Well, yeah, he whipped us.
He did.
Made us mine.
Well, you know.
Me and Mert, we had to push over the dishes. He waited to hide them. One time we had a piece left, you know, I was trying to make her take it. She was trying to make me take it. When he couldn't put the switch so big and he wore me out and he never did get her lit. And I always wondered why he didn't.
That bird didn't get it, huh?
Yeah, she never got a lick.
Well, and what about your mama? She ever
She was all kind of fetching on us. We didn't pay that much attention.
did pay none of attention? That's
When
that.
he whoops you, you're gonna whoop him.
Well, what do you know about Henry? Was he in the, let's see, he wasn't old enough to be in the Civil War or anything, but he was,
I think his daddy was.
his daddy was, which was, that was, yeah, his daddy was Sherman, let's see, Robert Sherman. You don't remember him, you saying.
I don't know him.
But as far as you know, you always lived down there. Henry,
Alexander.
about, he had that place on 48th Creek. What about, how'd you and Boyd meet? How'd you and your husband meet?
Me.
Yeah, how'd y'all meet each other the first time? You don't know, was it not no dance or no
Yeah,
nothing?
we had dances and parties.
Yeah. Ma didn't like it at all, though, did
No,
she?
she didn't.
Didn't like
No.
I slipped off my
That'd be a good tale if you tell it.
You slipped off and married. I thought that was the only thing like Daddy did.
We ever looked at the boy, she's ready to kill us.
Yeah, that'd be a good tale if you get to talk about it, you know.
Why'd you how'd you slip off? What'd you?
She didn't let us go with the boys. The one we went with, she raised King. She's like, oh, I'll never know this. She didn't think he's good enough for me.
He wasn't good enough for you, was he?
Well, I guess he was. He was a good man. He was a brewer, but he was a good man.
Even if it's a brewery. I know. I got an Uncle Dick. It sure does razz the brewers. As my brother about being a brewer. You don't know my Uncle Dick, do you? You don't know him?
Mr. Brewer's daddy.
Now, you mean
Dick.
Dick? You know Dick,
That's
brother to me.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't mean
His name was Garner, wasn't it?
one of them's Garner, but this Dick not Garner. Dick's name is what was Harlan Boy. Harlan Boy.
Let's see. I got it here showing that your dad died in 1930.
Yeah.
1930. How'd he die? What?
Well, he just got sick with his head. Had headaches all the time.
So he was about 70 years old. And I want to name some of these other people that's in our. You don't know a Pleasant, do you?
Yes, I do.
You do.
His cousin.
He's your cousin. Is he about trying to figure out about what age he was. Was he about your age, or you older, or younger?
He's older.
He's older.
Older. Well, there was a Rebecca Nutt married a Dick Marr.
Yeah. That's my daddy's sister.
Okay. Yeah. And then Sarah Nutt was, and then there's a John Nutt, John McNutt Nutt, married a Harriet Pogue,
Yeah.
and Martin McNutt married a Minnie Marr.
Yeah. That's my daddy's brother.
Let's see, I see these others here. There's a James Alexander Nutt, died just before you were born, I believe. He had a son named David Alexander Nutt. Do you know David Alexander Nutt?
The only thing I know is Dave Nutt.
Uncle Dave Nutt? Okay. He was, I guess, on the other tree or whatever. He had children named Gertrude Nutt, May Nutt, Annie Nutt, Susan Nutt, Esther Nutt, Agnes Nutt, Willie Nutt, and Homer Nutt. Y'all you recognize all of them? And then I got Pleasant Green Nutt. He's the one. Is that the one you said went to Nashville at Sanitarium?
Yeah, Lee went first. Lee went first to the asylum. And then Dave went, and then Players went right on last.
Man, he was married 3 times. He married to Ellen Churchwell, then he was married to a Sally Churchwell, and then, no, he, I'm not sure.
He married Churchill first, didn't he?
Yeah. And then Nettie Dabbs. And
His wife.
yeah,
Lazy wife.
and he had a daughter named Vesta
Yeah.
and Trester, and then
Theo.
Theo was oldest.
I didn't have him.
And him, him to her.
Oh, what was her name?
Theo.
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 Theo. Okay.
So what have you done? Ethel?
And there's a Lee Nutt.
Hold your arm up.
He was Uncle Dave's brother.
And Dave's brother. Okay. What about Jesse Nutt? Do you know him? That's about all I got. There's a Nancy Nutt.
Huh?
Married to John Robinette.
That's everything.
Then had a
You
picture.
didn't?
You got all kinds of pictures. I've been looking for pictures. It may be kind of hard to see, but
Yeah, I can't see that.
that's George Washington, and Pete Brewer, and his children, Uncle Al, Uncle Frank, and let's see, Laura.
Yeah, well, Frank, they was brothers.
Uh-huh. So
And Neil, his brother,
You got Uncle Jimmy, and you got all.
well,
He didn't play there.
no, I really don't. Is Jimmy
That's her
your
mother-in-law, or dad-in-law.
father-in-law, right? Who was his? Do you know who his daddy was?
they called him Dick.
Dick. Dick Brewer. Huh, I didn't, so that would be Boyd's grandfather. And Jimmy's his father. When was Boyd born? Do you know what day? What year? What's your birthday?
April the 6th.
April 6, 1906. 1906. Well, I know.
Mr. Rude's mother was named Sally.
Yes.
They live on up in.
Oh, they live back towards town.
So you walk to school back and forth.
Yeah.
Now, tell me this: Mom and Daddy always told me that they'd shoe up a cow so we'd stand in the warm spot. You didn't do that, did you?
I left them in all places.
That's right. We just carry a cow up out of the field, you know, and then step in a warm place where to get her feet warm.
Well, tell me, what kind of Christmas did you have?
Oh, we just had an old country Christmas, not much, but we did.
Daddy,
We had
no.
a Christmas tree. When me and Mert, we got pretty up in age, you know, we got grown. Pappy took our stockings and filled them up with chips.
Chips.
Come back in, we couldn't wait to get up in on there, and the stockings full of chips.
Wood chips.
Yeah, then he had his present his. He said, you gals getting too big to hang them stockings up. He got a kick out of that. I still got what he got me and Mert too.
You do. What did they get you?
We got Mert a little piano. We got me a little bass, some kind of bass.
You still have it. How old was you at Christmas, you reckon?
Well, I'm getting too old to hang up my stockings.
Do you remember anything about when did you ever get a car?
No, we never did own a car.
Never did own a car. Don't guess you had indoor plumbing either. And say, your dad farmed. What kind of farming did he do?
We raised corn and wheat. And 1 year we raised wheat, cotton, a little bit all. Raised peanuts for me.
Peanuts.
Yeah, one mailbox was down there close to the peanut patch. But there he come with a handful of peanuts. Well, me and Mert, we went down there the next day and was going down there, so we hunted all over that patch. Come back and said, where'd you find them peanuts? We couldn't find them. Or he said, you couldn't get they grow under the ground. Well, you know.
The roots, well, this is interesting. One of these days I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk. You think about all this stuff, and you think what I'd like to know is some tales about my papa.
Yeah.
I'd like to know if you know anything about my
Charlie.
papa. Yeah, Charlie.
That's Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was Dick? He is a little bitty boy, couldn't even hold up the corn planter. He got me to help him. So, and in his ground too now. Dick could take the one round and I'd take the other, you know, to hold up that corn planter. Got to the house, Laura said, Will said, there's a ham hanging upstairs, if you'll go up and get it, I'm going to cook us some ham. Well, the kitchen was tacked underneath, and I'd forgotten about that. So I said, Laura, there's something on this ham. She said, just bring it down, I'll clean it up. I skipped it. Well, I forgot about that under tack, and I stepped on it down, I come. And then that table was sitting full of dishes. She's so nice, you know. She's going to wash the dishes over. Good make me say. If I hadn't caught it, when it cut me all to pieces, and I caught it with my arm, whose skin was that?
Has Laura did it?
Yeah.
Was that when you were still a girl before you was married?
Yeah. I was much bigger than Dick. He cut both of them back that car.
What year did you get married? You remember?
It was 43.
43. So you was 43. You was up in your 30s when you got married, weren't you? 20s?
No, no, yes, I 30. I'm guessing it's like 43.
6,
I think
43.
that's right.
You'd been about 37 if you was there, so you probably might have been 33, reckon. How long were you
He
in?
told us, you know, to take a look at last and go to spring before the sun up in May, and we'd see our lodge tree. And down that hill, me and Mert went with mine come up. And it was him, if I ever seen him in my life, it was him, and he was in the casket. Boy, it scared the piss out of me. I sold that glass down at that hill we went to find.
Apparently you and Myrtle was big buddies.
Yeah, we met to each other.
Y'all grew up together. And you bet you found out that worked. But, when she died pretty young, didn't she? Or when she?
But she wasn't too old. She married home with him.
Uh-huh. And where Uncle Herschel lived, I hadn't heard a whole lot about him.
They just all lived around home there.
Did
He lived over the back of the orchard, and Charlie lived over down next to the creek. Ivan lived up on the hill down over the cemetery.
I wonder how they got all that land. You know?
I don't know how he wanted, but he bought it. He owned just about all of it, didn't he?
Yeah, he loaned all the 48 now.
Yeah. And lost every,
Lost it or sold it or
he lost it.
Lost
how did he learn?
He just got in debt so much he couldn't do it.
As Henry? And what had their sons, or had Charlie and them?
Charlie took the place. But Buck and Frank, you know, got it first, and he bought it from them.
So he got into a lot of debt and had to pay it off, huh? Had to sell it to pay off. I didn't know that. And then Laura Jackson, your mother, she died in 1947, I understand. Anything you remember about her?
She's just a good mother.
Good mother?
Yeah. She's high tempered. She whipped the dog out of her,
Which one's that?
Your grandmother, Laura Jackson.
My mother?
Your mother's mother.
She was around
No,
here.
your mother's, your daddy's mother.
My dad,
Okay.
she's high strung, was she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see, what other kind of story?
I remember one time I was teasing her about a man. She slapped the fire out of me.
Who was that?
That's my mom.
Mama?
Yeah,
Cause you,
your great grand.
yeah. But do you remember Henry at all, Daddy?
Yeah, I just barely do.
Yeah, you'd have been
Was you
about
the one that
14.
was sick there so long?
Huh?
Was you the one that was sick there so long?
Sick as a baby.
I was sick, and when I was sick, they laid me out dead.
Yeah.
See, now she'll tell you.
How'd this get?
And they laid me out and laid me in that room back there on the other side of the living room,
Yeah, across the hall.
across the hall, and then on a board, you know. So I be straight. Laying because my grandma went in there and she discovered breath.
How old were you?
Well, I was a baby.
Yeah,
I was just a baby.
just a baby.
Oh, what you remember about my daddy? He had no good. I don't guess he had jet black hair, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Red-headed.
Let's turn this thing off before she says anything.
My daddy, pretty good boy.
I never give you no trouble much, did I?
No,
Did you ever babysit my daddy? Take care of him?
no, not him. Yeah.
I gave Aunt Will them some lights off the railroad. You remember that? Hey, lights, you know, and they hung up on the wall. What ever happened to them?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Was it electric lights?
No, it's color light.
Oh,
I remember one time Aunt Lum, they had a radio, battery set. And we had a bunch of us go up there and sit and listen to that radio, you know. Aunt Lum said she didn't want somebody to listen to that radio, it was running the battery down.
run the battery.
If you want to hear something, get old Buster Moore to talk. He's full of it.
Where's he? Is he?
Well, he's in California. He'll be back if Hughes goes. You knew Hughes over here, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. He's over here.
Yeah, he's over there.
I was telling Geraldine about it, and I said, they're there early, and I know and reading he's over here.
Yeah, he's in pretty bad shape.
Poor thing, he had a time.
Yeah.
He's already sick.
Yeah, well, he been kind of going down or slow.
Yeah, but he had a stroke this time. Massive stroke, yeah.
Oh, I've had two.
You had two. Yeah, he had a
Talk,
stroke
I
there.
can't talk, I can't read, I can't sing, I can't do nothing.
Well, he joined the club. There's a lot of us that way.
Did you sing in church or anything?
We have singing here on Tuesday.
Sing us here on Tuesday.
They have church here, but I didn't go. I told my, what am I kind of church? I said the cussing in one end of the house and preaching in the other, and I said, that ain't my kind of church.
Living longer, living better. But everyone needs to know about avoiding and treating stroke.
Stroke.
80% of strokes can be prevented.
I never heard of it, many people
First
have
thing we
it.
have to do is
That
educate
bites out of
people
my
about the risk factors.
Well, you,
Important health news on stroke
is your
tomorrow night.
children got children? I know they do.
Yeah,
How many grandchildren you got?
I've got 5 grandchildren, God knows how many great-grandchildren. And I've got the 5th generation,
Fifth generation, 5 generations.
and I'm the only one living.
Only one of
The only one living, the whole family.
all your children
Every
dead?
one of them know of my family.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you don't lane I got.
Yeah, I'm the only one.
It's funny we here talking to her now. Ain't
Yeah, I had no idea. Well, I guess I did, but I didn't know that I'd get the opportunity to come talk to you.
You know how proud I am.
Well, I tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to come back sometime when you had time to think about it and tell me some funny stories or something about my papaws or Charlie and Henry and anything like that. If you got some old pictures or something like that, I won't get them or anything, but I'd like to see an old picture of any of them if you've got any.
I think I got some little pictures of him and Mammy too.
I'd love to be able to get a
Geraldine got them out to her. Since I've been put in here, she carries everything in the back.
Geraldine, your oldest. She lives here in Waynesboro.
Yeah, she lives right in the yard. Like over there, Bobby lives up on the hill.
So your children are Geraldine, Raleigh,
Betty Jean,
Betty Jean. What's her?
Dorothy.
And Dorothy. And Geraldine, who'd she marry?
She married Robert Heron.
Hilliard?
Heron.
Heron. Robert Heron. And Raleigh, who'd he marry?
He's been married 3 times.
Raleigh's married 3 times? God, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
and business owners
She's a nice, pretty girl. Then you got bad luck with the other. She didn't work the way.
folks who are hearing or speech impaired can call
Then he learned that.
1-800-462-7585. These toll-free numbers will be open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m., 7 days a week.
What about the other ones? There
If
was
you were caught,
Geraldine, Raleigh, and the next one was
that you won't soon forget.
Dorothy.
Dorothy. Who'd she marry?
Operators say
She married Carl Inman.
Carl Lindman.
they received
And then the next one is
tornado response.
Big Jean.
Betty
She
Jean.
married Billy Webb.
Billy Webb. I don't know who all my relatives are when I get around.
Then you find a bunch of them.
Well, Daddy, I guess we've been here a good while.
She's probably getting tired.
And well, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna talk to you some more. If you think of some stories, I sure would like to have some funny stories. I've got some uncles out in California that love to hear some of them funny stories. Uncle
You know
Chuck.
Buster Moore.
Yeah, Buster Moore and
Oh,
all.
he can do me.
He can tell you, he can tell you anything she can tell you.
Yeah. More too, I guess.
Now he went out to California when Dick and all them.
Yeah, right. Well, he went out there after Hughes went out there. But Dick and them went out there after.
Yeah. Well, let me get this. I'll take this and I'll see what I got in it, and I'll write down some of what you told, and I'll have.
You never did spank me, did you, at school?
Never ask me that. I have too many. I don't know.
What did you teach? Everything?
Yeah, I did. As long as the schools were in the country. But when they took them out of the country and bused them to town.
They split it up then. How high did you go in there?
I
Eighth
taught-
grade, wasn't it?
Huh?
Eighth grade's high as it went in the country, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it went, you got in
But
high
you had
school.
all of them, you see. From the first through the eighth. And when from the last 14 years, I taught at Waynesburg. And
That's just the place
I
that
taught
came
the
from.
first grade 14 years.
Right over at Waynesboro?
Uh,
At Waynesboro?
And in the country, it made it a little easier. The
Where you
big
wanna go?
one,
You need to go
the
sit
older
down?
one, liked to help the little ones with their lesson and just throw them. And it really did help.
You know,
All we had.
that was Uncle Dick. He was my Uncle Dick.
Yeah.
But he never got in trouble, did
I don't know.
he?
He used to be kind of rough.
Yeah, I can imagine that. He did.
Yeah, he's kind
What
of rough.
about, what about Chuck? Do you remember Chuck Nutt?
You know, Chuck was quiet, but
Chuck
Charlie,
Garner.
Garner, you might know him by Garner.
Huh?
Garner Nutt. That's my brother, Garner. That's Dick's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year did you
He
quit?
made an officer of some kind, didn't
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
She remembers a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. So how did you teach as late? How late did you teach? What year did you quit teaching at?
he? Huh?
When did you quit teaching? What year?
So 1970.
1970. So you
Been
taught
retired that long.
1970. You taught probably Wade Nutt. Did you know Wade?
No, he's
Did you know Wade
Yeah.
and Coy?
Yeah.
Let's see who else.
I guess they was babies.
Bobby.
Yeah.
You remember Bobby?
I remember Bobby well.
And let's see, Ed.
Edward.
Well, you got them all, my uncles. Then. Let's see.
He has,
Joel,
Yeah.
Joel, and of course Dick and Doyle.
Which one died?
Well, they've all died. Let's see.
there's
Wade.
just 5 of us living now.
There's just
Mm.
five.
There's just 5 of us living now. 5 of them is dead. And all of the youngest has died. 'Cause all of it died was younger than the on the younger side.
That's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, that's odd. That
Right.
we just made me always wondered what caused that.
Well, that's the way it is.
Mhm.
And Herbert's family,
Yeah.
the youngest one is
Junior.
still living.
No, let's see. Hughes Jr.'s died. He's dead.
Huh?
Hughes Jr. is dead. You know Hughes?
Yeah, she remembers Hughes. Hughes, that's oldest.
Yeah, he's living.
Yeah, he's living. He's over in the hospital now.
Huh?
He's over sick in the hospital now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, he's over in the hospital now.
Well,
Well, it's good talking to you.
it's good, Joe. I got to see you.